I wanted to come on to talk a little bit about guerrilla trades, what it's all about, and how it can help you to make money. Coming up next. Okay, welcome back, and let's talk about guerrilla trades for a second. Now, although I know how to trade options and I'm pretty good at evaluating options trades and whatnot, I am a terrible, terrible stock picker. Like, I cannot seem to pick a winning stock to save my own life. Like I said, I can evaluate options trades in a stock, but for me to pick which direction a stock is going to go in, I am just terrible at that. However, there is somebody who is awesome at it and has an amazing track record of picking good stocks. He's a guy by the name of Ken Berman, and he's one of those stories where he turned a very small amount of money into a huge amount of money. And so I got hooked up with him and Guerrilla Trades. And what they do is they scan every night from 6,000 stocks, and they pick the ones, they have certain criteria which they use, and they pick the ones that are most likely to go up. And I want to go through for a second a little bit how it works and how they, not just how they pick the stocks, but what happens once they pick a stock. So let's take a look here just at the Guerrilla Trades website for a second. And I don't spend that much time on the website. What I do spend a lot of time on is looking at the emails, because I get a couple emails a day from them, and not only does it summarize what's happened in the market as far as, if there's been numbers during the day, what's going on, it'll give you a quick summary of like what's happened. And so instead of having to sit in a chat room or to go through a ton of websites and figure that out for yourself, they do that for you, which is extremely helpful just in itself. But so every day you get an email at the end of the day, and it tells you which Guerrilla Trades stocks were which Guerrilla Trade stock picks have come up. And so let's take a look here at the most recent interview from last night. Let's see. Okay, so here's one from 5:50 yesterday, and it's going to show here. Let me make sure I'm not blocking the way here. All right, so we are live, so you get a little glitches from time to time and whatnot, but there's some information off to the left of me here, and it shows which stock picks have come up most recently, and then it shows which one's triggered and which one's confirmed. Now, there's different criteria for triggered and confirmed, but essentially it refers to sort of how safe of a pick it is. So, for example, it says Disney 925. Okay, so that one triggered. That one was a pick just for today. And so, if it's picked, then it appears, and they wait and they see the next day after it's picked that it trades higher from when it was picked. That means it's triggered. So let's look at Disney here real quick. And so it was picked yesterday. I guess the high of, let me go to the 5-day chart here actually. So the high of yesterday was 113.25. So it did trigger today. So that means that this stock would be one that was recommended by Ken Berman and Guerrilla Trades to buy. And when they recommend a stock, they also give you some guidance as far as to where you should sell that stock afterward. It's a target price. And as a stock slowly moves upward, they're also going to put a stop loss price in for you. So essentially, like as you make some profits, it's going to tell you where to put a stop loss order in so that you can protect those profits as the stocks move higher. And the most amazing thing about all this is not even really the mechanics. It's just that they have this just amazing track record of being able to pick winning stocks, which is like, that's one of the keys to the puzzle for me that is missing, is that I just I don't have the ability to actually pick winning stocks myself. I can, like I said, I can trade, I can value one option against another, I can manage a position, but as far as picking one stock against another, they all look the same to me. So this tool comes in really handy for me, and I think it will for you too. And if you want to check it out, there's links in the description below to Gorilla Trades. The other thing that Gorilla Trades has, which is interesting to me as an options trader, is it has an options idea of the week. And it doesn't happen every week, but pretty much every week there's an options idea of the week. So let me go back to my email here, and let's look at the options idea of the week for right now. Let's see. Okay, so options idea of the week happens to be in TD Bank, which I think owns TD Ameritrade, and it has it says to buy the December 60 call and sell the December 65 call. So if we go to TD here, we can look on the screen and we can see where it's been trading recently. And so this is a bullish play. So they obviously think the stock's going to go higher, and they're recommending buying a December 60 call and selling the December 65 call. Okay, so here we have D60 call, D65 call, kind of right in the same place as they recommended them. Now, for me, as an options trader and having a ton of experience with options, when I see a recommendation like this, I won't necessarily do the exact trade that they gave me, but it gives me a starting point, a jump-off point. So I might say, okay, well, I'm more interested in maybe giving myself a little more time, so maybe I'll buy the Jan 60 call and sell the Jan 65 call, or maybe instead of selling the 65 call, since it's at a relatively cheaper premium, maybe I'll just buy the Jan 60 call. Or I might look at the chart and say, yeah, this thing is going to go to the moon, and I might say, wow, that's a great chart. I'm glad I found this stock. I think this thing's going to go to the moon. So instead of buying the D60 call, I'm going to buy the D62 call outright. And instead of paying $245 and selling the D65 for $215, I'm just going to buy the 62 call for $1. I can buy twice as many for whatever money I have available, and jump on board. This stuff is really interesting, and it kind of falls in the same category of a lot of other tools that I've talked about with the market, in that it has a cost associated with it, but two things about the cost associated. One is that if you pay for something, it disciplines you to take it a little more seriously than like just some free thing. There's plenty of free stock tools out there, like maybe a free screener or something, but if you pay a little bit for something, you realize that you've made an investment in your success, and so maybe you take it a little bit more seriously and you focus in a little bit better. It allows you to focus. It's the same thing of like, I used to play backgammon for money. If you're playing backgammon for money, you're going to focus in a lot more than if it's just a free gentleman's game. And the second thing about signing up for a service like this and the money aspect is that all it takes is one decent trade, and it will pay for this. One decent trade idea will pay for your subscription for the entire year. I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's funny. I first met these guys, and I was skeptical of naturally of anything to do with the market, and I heard the name and I was skeptical, and even when I first became associated with them, I was skeptical. But as I've watched the picks over the last couple months and seen how amazing they've been, I've become a true believer. Let me show you one of these. they were talking about Costco a couple months ago, and they wanted you to buy I think it was like the 210, 220 call spread. And look at the thing, it's at 233 now. So that was a huge winner. And most of them, when I look at them, are huge winners. Once again, it gives you an idea and a baseline to start with, a beginning premise, if you will, to engage with the market. A lot of people have a problem in that they'll learn some stuff about maybe trading options or trading stocks, but they just can't seem to pull the trigger when it comes down to it. They're like, well, maybe I could buy this stock, but it could go down, or maybe I could buy this one, but that one could go down. And I saw people like that when we were training traders at the SIBO. We would take somebody, maybe went to like Harvard or something, went through the whole training program, and they would get in the pit, and they were just kind of frozen because they just couldn't sort of execute. But this gives you a starting point of some really solid bullish stocks that have been researched by a proven winner, that being Ken Berman, the gorilla. So I would really recommend checking it out. It's definitely a tool in my arsenal now, and I don't even know what's more valuable, the stock picks or the emails that I get every day, because they cover all aspects of the market, and when you read them, they're like right on. So let's take a look at another one of the emails that I got from Gorilla Trades recently. And here's the midday update for today. All right, so it says stocks are mixed and flat at midday on Wall Street despite positive overnight session, and it talks about a bunch of economic indicators. It will talk about any sort of numbers that have been released today, and it just it really gives you confidence to be able to go out there and know what's going on in the market at a glance. I talk about ways you can do this on my videos all the time, like saying, well, don't isolate yourself, join a chat room, go on StockTwits, and this is another way of doing that, getting yourself the crucial information that pretty much every trader is going to know that, oh, well, today it was unemployment day, or computer confidence comes out. Every trader is going to know that stuff, but if you're just trading from home or you're just starting out, you're going to miss it because you're not plugged in. So these emails plug you in. And I don't know, there's nothing, I can't say enough about Gorilla Trades, because they've been a great partner with me, and they've given me some trade ideas that have actually made me money. And pretty much every pick that I've followed of theirs has made money. And I know that, in a market where everything seems to be going up, some people are like, well, it's not that hard to find winners in a market where everything's going up. But for me, it is. I can't pick stocks. I'm a terrible stock picker. And so if you all as well maybe don't have as much of a sense of which companies are good, and you don't want to spend the time, like somebody like Seth Golden can go through and look at any reports and decipher what is going on, can dilute all this financial information down to something that's meaningful. But for me, most of these annual reports and stuff are just a bunch of gobbledygook. So having something like Gorilla Trades just to turn me on, I love to be turned on to, like, here's the list of 5 stocks, and I can go and pull up my screens and start to look at them and look at the charts. And usually one of those 5 will have some interest for me. And I learn new stuff about them, and I find opportunities to make money, which is what it's all about in this business. So that's just a little about Gorilla Trades. And if you want to learn more, like I said, there's a link down below, and you can check out the website. It's obviously free to just check out the website. So check it out, and I can tell you from experience that they pick a ton of winning trades, and this guy is Ken Berman is a winner, and attaching yourself to him is not a bad move if you want to make money in the markets. All right, thanks for watching, folks, and I will see you in the next one.